Good evening. We begin tonight with a live look at the New York skyline on this eve before the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Thanks for being here for KION News at 11. I'm Veronica Macias. Well, for the first time since 2003, a man from Pebble Beach, Jack Grancolis, has traveled to the Flight 93 National Memorial in Pennsylvania to mark the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Jack recently shared his story from his home, and KION's Lisa Principe shares it with us tonight.
The 40 passengers and crew aboard Flight 93 were often called the heroes of 9/11, helping to stop an attack on the U.S. Capitol. For Jack Grancolis, it's personal. He lost his wife and unborn child on that flight, and 20 years later, he's taking the time to look back on their memory.
Every year, it's a gut punch. There's no question. It's, we'll live with the scars the rest of our lives.
20 years later, Jack Grancolis still remembers waking up that fateful morning. He didn't know it yet, but his entire life had changed. Across the country, 2 planes had hit the World Trade Center.
You have a second plane into the other tower.
34 minutes later, the Pentagon pierced and in flames, and United Airlines Flight 93 was headed toward the U.S. Capitol.
You got United 93?
But the passengers and crew of Flight 93 fought back and drove the plane into an empty field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. All 40 people aboard the flight died that morning, including Jack's wife, Lauren Grancolis. She was 3 months pregnant with their first child. While Jack was sleeping, Lauren had called twice, leaving 2 voicemails. The first was good news. She was taking an earlier flight home from New Jersey to San Francisco. The second time, Lauren called from the plane. It would be the last time he would ever hear her voice.
The first few years going back to the memorial was important, to be there, to be at the site. But it was extremely difficult and hard to take. And for my own health, I decided I would not return for the memorial anniversary until it was completed. Ironically, it's completed and it's the 20th anniversary. They coincide.
For years after, Jack would spend September 11th doing things Lauren loved, like going for a bike ride or taking a quiet walk on the beach.
And then I would end the day by going down to her Lauren place in 4th Street and leave some flowers and note and read the notes and the flowers that other people had left in my memory. And I think that tranquility helped me get through that mounting pressure and anxiety of what they call an anniversary.
Friday night, 40 lanterns carried by family members and friends were placed below the names of each of the passengers and crew members of Flight 93. And now on the 20th anniversary, Grancolis says he wants Americans to remember how the country came together right after 9/11.
And the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
This country was united from sea to shining sea. And today, maybe now would be a good time to let the divisiveness drop, let the knee-jerk vitriol drop. Just take a minute to pause and look deep into your own soul.
And Jack is writing a book about the grieving process, including the loss of his unborn child. It's set to be released in April, when his child would have turned 20 years old. Veronica.
Thank you, Lisa. So many heroes on that flight that day. Well, every year on 9/11, the Holy Cross School hosts the Cookies for Courage ceremony to acknowledge the bravery of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics. Well, this year, Holy Cross students delivered impressive trays of cookies here to the Santa Cruz Police Department and the Santa Cruz Sheriff's Office to honor the courage and sacrifices of first responders. The annual Cookies for Courage event was inspired 20 years ago by a Holy Cross student following the terrorist attacks. Well, students at Sacred Heart School in Salinas also honoring 9/11 today by spending time with some officers from the Salinas Police Department. Students able to ask questions of the officers and also checked out their gear. And of course, lots of ceremonies planned for tomorrow, but there were some happening earlier today. One of them at Fort Hunter Liggett, that they now observe the Patriots Day. They have a ceremony. Colonel Lisa Lamb is seen participating here, honoring the lost on 9/11. A bell is also rang recognizing departments that ran towards harm's way that day. And today, Watsonville Police Corporal Boracio was reunited with his Marine Corps platoon at the 9/11 Memorial Museum in New York. According to police, his platoon was deployed to Afghanistan following the September 11th terrorist attacks. And of course, tomorrow marks the 20 years since Al-Qaeda killed nearly 3,000 people in New York, Washington, and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Michael George spent the eve of the anniversary at the World Trade Center site that became Ground Zero.
On the eve of the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, native New Yorker Greg Morin is visiting the spot where the Twin Towers once stood.
When the whole thing happened, I mean, it was like surreal, and it was just so upsetting. It's pretty emotional.
Iowa firefighter Nate Smith and his family are also among the many coming to pay their respects.
Just kind of pay tribute. Show them they're not forgotten.
The number of victims of 9/11 is rising even today. It's estimated more people have died from 9/11 related illnesses than the nearly 3,000 who perished the day of the attacks.
Each life lost is a stark reminder that the long-term effects of the recovery work after September 11th are still present, even 20 years later.
Security will be tight in the city and nationwide Saturday as Americans mark 2 decades since the worst terror attacks on U.S. soil.
There are no specific and credible threats directed against New York City at this time. And the NYPD is watching not daily, not hourly, minute by minute.
President Biden spoke in a White House video about the impact on victims' loved ones.
Whether it's the first year or the 20th, children have grown up without parents, and parents have suffered without children.
In Shanksville, Pennsylvania, family members carried lanterns to honor those who died on United Flight 93. The jet crashed into a field when passengers and crew tried to overpower hijackers that morning. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
And ceremonies honoring the lives lost on 9/11 will be taking place here at home along the Central Coast. You can find a list of those events on our website. Head over to KION546.com. Taking a first look at weather now. Weather forecaster Erica Brittine. I'm sure a lot of people will be sad tomorrow with all the images we're going to be seeing, but also a day to remember, right? To community service, come together.
Absolutely, never forget. And some good news, you're going to have mostly nice weather to look forward to tomorrow. Now it is going to be a little bit cloudy.